everyone, and welcome back. I'm Adriana Monique Alvarez. I'm the founder of Alma Publishing, and I'm so excited to be giving you all a sneak peek of the speakers of our upcoming summit, Ignite Your Dream Summit. And today you get to meet Miss Tarryn Reeves. Hi, Tarryn. How are you?
Hey, I'm amazing. How are you?
Good. So first off, tell us where in the world you are joining from.
I am joining from Lake Macquarie in New South Wales, Australia today.
Sweet. And I'm so happy that you're on this summit. I mean, obviously you contributed a chapter into the Younger Self Letters, and then we had a chance to sit down and talk. And I just want to remind everyone, if they go to the igniteyourdreamsummit.com, they can register obviously for the event. It's free, and then every single day can see what interviews are coming out. And I think that your interview is so powerful because this is going to drop on day 4, and these interviews will drop at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your interview is so powerful because you talked a lot. We talked, and I don't want to give it all away, but we talked about how to be successful, like no matter what, being ourselves, everything that we've been through, it's part of it. We don't try to disconnect from it. And I know that, you have shared about PTSD and depression or anxiety. And I think it's really timely because there's so much going on in the world, and people need to know they can do that even if they're dealing with that. They can still be in business, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's funny that we're having this conversation this morning because I woke up this morning and I felt like I had a bit of a vulnerability hangover because I had a dinner with a friend last night and we went really deep into all of these kind of behind the scenes stories, if you like, that are still taboo topics today. And I said to her, I just want to normalize this. So many people are suffering because they're ashamed, or they feel like they're weak, or their family tells them that there's no such thing as depression or anxiety or whatever the hell it is, and to just get on with it and, climb the corporate ladder. This is what life is, and it doesn't have to be that way. And coming back to that topic of success and being in business, right? If you are in business or you have a mission and a purpose, that's what keeps getting you up again and again every time you fall down. And I'm going to share that I am back on my anti-anxiety medication, right? And it's only recent. So if you know anything about my past, I had chronic depression, major anxiety, and PTSD. And I've done a lot of work on those, and I was medicated for quite a while on those. And then I came off them, right? And for a good many years, I, felt absolutely fine. I was able to do all these things. But my mission and my purpose it's big, okay? And I've got a 5-year-old daughter. I've got a husband who works. And to run the business and things like that, entrepreneurship isn't easy, right? Otherwise, everyone would do it. And, that started to trigger my anxiety again. And I went, okay, well, I've got a choice here. I can let the anxiety take over and I can let the mission and my business fall by the wayside, or I can do both. What do I need in this moment to keep going? What do I need to support myself? How do I be kind to myself and still do what I need to do, what I came here to do, and be a good mom and be a good friend and whatever the hell else it is, and just be good to myself as well? And that for me looked like going back on my anti-anxiety medication for however long that is, because that was the choice, right? So yeah, it's totally normal to feel this way. And it's no wonder we're all running around anxious. Like, I mean, who isn't anxious? Even our dogs are on anti-anxiety medication, for God's sake. Like, it's because we are not designed to live in this constant state of do, achieve, more at any cost. And it's hard to undo that conditioning. It's very hard to undo that conditioning. And it's a practice.
That is so true, because we all were inundated with it from a very young age. We saw it modeled. Every authority figure, every role model showed us that that's how it's done. This is how it's always been done. And actually, we don't even say this is how it's done. We don't even realize that that's the thing. That's how deep it is, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So when you think about, how we're actually designed to be, and what it looks like when you give yourself that space and you're good to yourself, what does that look like?
So life is a juggle, okay? Especially if you've got kids and multiple businesses like I do, because multi-passionate over here, can't just stick to one thing. And everything in every moment is a choice. Okay. So it's like, okay, well, I can choose to wake up at 6 a.m., check my Facebook messages, jump on a call, then do the school run, then come back and do 7 meetings, and then, do the school pickup. That's a choice, So it's about stepping back and going, actually, how do I want my day to look? Because when you are an entrepreneur, half the reason, maybe even more than half the reason that we became entrepreneurs is because we wanted to design a life on our terms. And it's so easy to fall back into that conditioning of what we think success looks like, and we have to work harder, do more, all this sort of stuff. And yes, you do have to work. Okay, there is work involved in building a business. You can't just, create your crystal grid and think you're going to manifest $100,000. It doesn't work like that. You've got to also put in the work. And so it's like, okay, well, I have to now train myself about what's important to me. So it's important for me not to check my messages first thing in the morning, because it triggers my anxiety, because usually there's someone in there whining about something, or I've got a hater, or whatever it is, right? And we don't want that. You're just inviting it in. You are in charge of your time and your boundaries and how you want to spend it, strategically, of course. But building self-care in for whatever that looks like for you is so, so important. And it starts with knowing yourself.
Yes.
Okay? Because if you don't know how you operate or what triggers you, then you're never going to get anywhere. So I get triggered. I'm a massive people pleaser. Like it's this conditioning that I've got, please people, please like me, and it's very ingrained, right? So if I get a message where someone's not 100% happy with something I've done, or someone's, hating on me on social media, and I check that at 6 a.m., for me, it's an automatic anxiety-inducing experience. My heart rate accelerates, my palms sweat, my mind races. Nobody's got time for that at 6 a.m. Nobody's got time for that usually anyway. So it's like 6 a.m., no, because then that takes over and my whole day looks like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
and
yeah, why would you do that?
Why do it? And I want to go back, because you said some really key things here. Yeah. So number one, doing a business online, God bless them, but those jackhole jackies, they just find to circulate, right?
And they my word, they're everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know how they end up everywhere. And like you said, the demanding this or that. And I love what you say, it's the people pleasing, because honestly, so many overachievers come from this background. We know how to be what we need to be for someone, right? We've been trained and we can do it well. And yet at the same time, like you said, knowing, when am I going to introduce this in my day? Have I got myself as stable as I can be, right? It doesn't mean any of those things are going to go away. It's just more about, how am I going to enter this? I think that's powerful.
Yeah. How am I going to choose to respond, or maybe not respond? But you cannot do it from, when you're already caught up in something else. It's like, okay, I know I have to deal with this, but I'm going to deal with it later. So it's best not to even open your emails or open your Facebook messages until you are in a space where you have the capacity to deal with it.
It's so true. I know people are going to get so much out of your interview. This is a message we need to hear more and more and more. Like you said, am I going to respond or not? We're actually not obligated to respond. We're not obligated to please the whole world. We're not obligated to make anyone else happy. We're not here to create their experience, right? Exactly. Even when they pay us, that's not our responsibility.
Exactly.
And I think the more we talk about this and look at how it affects us,
Yeah.
the better we're all going to be, because there is a price to pay for all of this, for this
Yes.
way of being. Yeah. So
Exactly.
thank you for being, number one, someone who's willing to talk about it, who's willing to provide what supports her, right? It
Yes.
doesn't matter what works for anyone else. It matters what works for you.
Yeah.
And acknowledging and putting in very practical routines and practices that will help you as much as you can. I invite people to reach out to Tarryn, connect with her. These are the discussions that we cannot keep sweeping under the rug, because it's not good for us, and it's not good for our children, right?
Exactly.
We're not going to pass the
100%.
torch.
No, we all have to start taking responsibility for our own well-being and realize that when someone is responding to you in whatever manner that they're responding in, it's got everything to do with them and nothing to do with you.
It's so true. Yeah. It's hard sometimes to see it in the moment, but it's the truth.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And if you do happen to respond in a way that you're not proud of, or you do happen to check it and you go, oh, I did it again, don't go into that self-beating up, mode. Choose again. That's the beauty of the human experience. Unlimited choice. Choose again, choose again, choose again, until it becomes your new way of being.
Yeah, absolutely. I invite everyone to go to igniteyourdreamsummit.com, get signed up. It's a free event. It starts next Monday, February 21st. You're going to hear from Tarryn and so many others who have figured out how to navigate their dream life, their dream business, how to create this. I know you're going to be inspired, and you're also going to be able to relate. This is so relatable. This is so universal. This is what we're all going through. So why suffer silently when we can actually have the conversation together? Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We'll see everyone next week. Until then, take good care of yourself. Bye.
Bye.